It's always the light weekends when there are not a lot of compelling matchups where college football turns the chaos up a few notches, and Saturday was reflective of that. Utah improbably came back to beat Kansas State at Rice-Eccles Stadium to keep its college football playoff hopes on life support. Oregon moved a step closer to the postseason bracket by holding off USC in a wild game at Autzen Stadium. SMU remained alive in the ACC, and the Group of Five featured a half-dozen thrilling last-minute finishes. Of particular interest to the selection committee before the primetime games kicked off were the true Pac-12 championship game between the Ducks and Trojans and the final score of the Notre Dame game. The top 15 victory over USC should give Oregon an opportunity to jump over a Mississippi program in disarray this week and draw Dan Lanning's team a more favorable seed against the eventual ACC champion. Then there's the case of the Oklahoma-Notre Dame debate when it comes to who could get the final home game in the first round. There's no question that the committee has been impressed with the Irish, as they've run off 9 straight wins, and the pasting of Syracuse on Saturday should only add to that love. While Oklahoma has the superior resume by any measure, this edition of the committee has not put much stock in that. So if we're going off the eye test, then the Irish will flip spots with Brent Venables' team hosting their matchup in the playoff after Week 13. Welcome to the penultimate weekend of the regular season, which is more or less the equivalent of moving day in a golf tournament, given the positioning teams are trying to do for one final push into the college football playoff bracket. With a light slate in the SEC during Week 13 and a lack of impact midweek results, this is a massive opportunity for several programs to potentially jockey for at-large consideration with big wins, or perhaps to lock up a first-round game at home for a few others. The Red Raiders are off this week, but could clinch a berth in the Big 12 title game depending on the results Saturday around the rest of the conference. At this point, Joey McGuire's team might have the most favorable path with the 5 seed, where it can meet a Tulane team that will need to fight off North Texas in the American for the Group of 5 bid. The Ducks registered their marquee victory of the season by topping USC, which should be enough to leapfrog idle Ole Miss as Lane Kiffin watch continues. The Alabama Tide predictably rolled against a hapless FCS opponent and can now turn their attention to the Iron Bowl. It will be interesting to hear what the committee has to say about the Rebels and if the Kiffin fiasco has any impact on how they view the team. The Sooners' defense continues to carry the team toward the playoff, setting up a win-and-in scenario against LSU. After putting up 70 points against Syracuse, it might be time to start thinking that Notre Dame Stadium could host another first-round CFP game.